We're back for some F1. We're going to be checking out Oscar Piastri today. Apparently, he's a rookie on the scene. And if you're new to my channel, what I do is I look at all different types of people's communication skills and I give you my thoughts. Let's get right into this. Oscar Piastri.
Hey YouTube, it's Oscar Piastri here, the newest driver for McLaren F1 team. Is Oscar Piastri Italian? Well, yes and no. A long time ago, like 3 or 4 generations ago, yes. But I very much consider myself Australian. Is Oscar Piastri really called Oscar Pastry? I've got a secret, guys. Yeah, I am really Oscar Pastry. No, of course I'm not Oscar Pastry. I'm Oscar Piastri, but it sounds good, doesn't it? So, don't know.
I think I was reading some comments where people were saying he seems a little reserved, but I think this guy's like, you can tell like he's trying to be likable, like he's trying to be funny. I don't know if it comes as naturally to him as some of the other drivers, but I think he's definitely trying to be that way.
Yeah, I am really Oscar Pastry. No,
you know, he wants to be a little bit more lighthearted. That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting. Maybe he's not naturally, maybe it's a little bit harder for him to get there, but the sense I get is that he wants to be that way.
Don't know, maybe we'll do something special with it. Okay.
He seems to be doing a really good job of making this, what it seems to be, concerted effort to look directly at the camera to connect with his audience, right? We get a much greater sense of care and connection from the speaker that we're listening to when we feel that they're looking at us. So I'm kind of getting that sense from Oscar, right? He wants to connect.
Where did Oscar Piastri start his karting career? So I started at the Oakley Go-Kart Club in Victoria in Australia. It was my local track. Still go back there when I can, when I'm in town. So yeah.
I think he's doing a really good job just as a communicator here. And for some reason, I was expecting him to be a little bit more awkward, maybe because I saw some comments about him being more reserved or people didn't really understand him. But I think he's doing a really good job summarizing these answers. It feels like he's giving us enough detail without rushing through. And I think that's a good skill right there.
Oscar Piastri's favorite sporting idol. You know, people from outside of motorsport, so Michael Jordan, watching his series was a massive insight into how dedicated he was to his sport and his career. People like that, and I think just trying to get inspiration from wherever you can.
There's still a bit of a rigidity to him, but like I said, he's definitely demonstrated some good presentation skills here, some good communication skills here. Smiling, looking right at the camera. Let's check out his video with Lando Norris. I know Lando's a jokester. Lando's an interesting one. Lando likes to have a good time, that's for sure.
I have 3 sisters, so I'm actually more familiar with Barbie dolls than I...
You have 3 sisters?
I have 3 sisters, yeah. But yep, it's a new Barbie toy.
Anyone's gonna look mature when Lando's in the room, you know? Anyone's gonna look more mature than him.
It's just broken Barbie.
Do you used to play with Barbies?
I didn't used to play with them, no, but they used to be in the house.
Cool. Well, I never used Barbies,
Yeah.
but my sisters did. Next we have Play-Doh.
Yeah, I think Oscar has a good sense of humor, and I think Oscar is more lighthearted than he presents, and I think a lot of it is in his tone.
Lando's just broken Barbie.
I think more than anything, his humor and lightheartedness is deceiving because of his tone. So someone who's a little bit more expressive, we might sense the humor a little bit more. It might be more recognizable to us. I think Oscar's just a little bit more introverted by nature, and he's a little bit more within himself. So things like his humor and lightheartedness aren't as obvious to us. It doesn't come with the same emotion behind it, which can come off as him being, I think, a little bit more reserved. He's not. Like I said, he wants to be light. I think he is light. He just doesn't have that same disposition as a Lando, who's like gregarious.
You put it in the oven, don't you, and then cook it? What? No? I got the wrong thing here?
Yeah.
Smells amazing.
Yeah, it smells... No wonder I used to eat this stuff as a kid. It smells unreal.
Well, how do you get this thing out now?
He's very unsuccessful.
Yeah, Oscar knows how to present himself, right? He knows how to communicate. He knows how to present. He's still very socially in tune. We saw him there kind of look at the camera. He made an effort to look at the camera and speak directly to the audience. So like I said before, he makes an effort to connect directly with the audience. He really does. He's socially in tune in that way, and he's a good communicator in that way. I really do think he's a solid communicator. Bop it.
Okay.
Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Pass it.
This is like the first time I ever played it.
Pull it.
Ooh, it's picking up pace.
Pass it.
So I think some people might look at this and hear the cricket sound in the back and be like, oh, that's awkward, he's awkward. I don't really think he's that awkward. I don't think he's that awkward at all. I think there might have been an awkward seeming moment here, but I think here's a guy who's just, again, a little bit more on the introverted side, doesn't feel the need to speak all the time. He's trying to figure out the situation. I think he kind of reacts to the environment first, right? He analyzes first. He reacts to things and people first before necessarily just getting into a space and kind of imparting his own energy into the space. It was interesting before when he was doing the bop it thing, he was watching how Lando reacted to him doing it. I think Oscar assesses his environment and plays off the environment a little. Now, just by the way he's watching Lando, I think he reacts first, he watches first, he analyzes, and then he delivers.
It might be out by now. Yeah. Or just type it in, when's Barbie out, and you'll see it. Anyway, thank you. I hope you like our pink Barbie hats. It's a life goal, is to know how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Yes.
Yeah, Oscar seems like a nice guy. Again, I think he wants to be likable. It will be interesting to see how he develops. Anyways, those are my first thoughts. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. If you're interested, I've also included all my uncut F1 reactions on my Patreon page, including Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and much, much more. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.